All right, guys. This is going to be a long one. So, I'm literally going to go over my whole story from start to finish, from the second I got out of high school all the way until the point I'm at now, because those couple years are literally like the most critical points in my life and my journey that got me to the point I'm at now. So, I just want to lay out for you guys, everything in between, what I struggled with, what I went through, the things I had to deal with, the pain I felt, everything, man. And I'm just hoping this can help some of you guys out there who, maybe in some of the same situations, maybe trying to do the same thing with your life, whatever. I just want to be fully transparent with you guys and, show you really what it took for me to get to this point, because it sucked. I'm not going to lie to you. It sucked. It was not fun, but all glory to God, man. I'm here now. I'm where I'm at. So couldn't be more thankful for that. Let's jump right into it. So I'm going to start, you guys, pretty much my senior year of high school. This is when things got real. So, I had just finished my football season, and prior to that, my dream was always to be, a D1 football player. That's all I wanted to do, was go play college football. I was so passionate about football. That's what really taught me a lot of the things that I have now, with like the discipline, the work ethic, having that no quit mentality, all that stuff. Football teaches you a lot of that. For those of you guys that know who play football, it's no joke. So that's what like really built my mindset a lot, was football. And basically I had dealt with like a really bad lower back injury. It started out my junior year, basically just from overworking myself. I injured my lower back, and I had to play through that my junior year. And then the same thing happened senior year. During like summer camp, injured my lower back again. So I was literally in and out of the orthopedics office, had to play out my senior year with an injured lower back. And for any of you guys that have lower back pain, it is not fun. I mean, it literally affected everything I was doing with football. I was a receiver, so trying to run, trying to break down for a route, trying to jump up for a ball, anything I did, like I felt my lower back, and it was literally the worst pain ever. It was horrible. So I had to play through that. And then basically, after football was done, I kind of just hung up my cleats. I knew I didn't have any interest to really go play college football anymore. I knew I didn't like, the idea of school in general. So college was already throwing me off. I didn't really know what I wanted to do. I was passionate about the gym. Like, even throughout my senior year football season, I was going to the gym like crazy. COVID was what really got me like into the gym and like self-developing myself. So, as soon as football was done, I got straight in the gym. I did not care. Like, I literally was like so determined to just take lifting so serious, do that full time. And then I was getting plans to compete. So I was very passionate about the gym. So literally from our last game, which was on Thanksgiving, literally the next Monday, it was on a Thursday, the next Monday, I got straight into the gym, fully locked in. I locked in on my training, my dieting, everything. This was where I really learned, how to actually bodybuild. I had a trainer at the gym that I went to, and he kind of just like took me under his wing, like really, really helped me with everything as far as bodybuilding. Trained me for like pretty much a whole year. Great dude. Things didn't end up working out, but he was a great dude, and I'm very thankful for what he provided me with. And he gave me a lot of help, teach me truly how to diet, how to truly train hard. And I made probably the most amount of progress I ever had within, the rest of my senior year to that summer. It was incredible. So that's when I really became passionate about the gym. And then that summer, I kind of just like, I fell into that, senior year summer thing where I just graduated. I felt like I was on top of the world. I was going to parties, grad parties, all that stuff, drinking constantly. Still taking the gym very serious, obviously, but I was having my fun, and that's basically what I was doing. I had a girlfriend at the time, and then actually, like, in June, I ended up breaking things off just because, like, I was a dumb kid. I just wanted to go have fun at the parties, do whatever. I was very immature. So that's what happened. And then around, like, late July, August time, that's when things kind of like slowed down, and it kind of just hit me like everything was slowing down. I wasn't going out as much. I was like kind of just still doing the gym and all that. I had the realization that all my friends were going away for school. So like that was a big thing. Um, and like I was like starting to get kind of lonely, and I ended up missing my girlfriend. So I hit her back up in August, but she was going to Tennessee. So that was like a whole deal. I went down to visit her 2 different times down at Tennessee. It was fun, good experience, but I was miserable. Like that was probably the most miserable point in my life, was my first year at college. I absolutely hated everything about it. So around October time, I was literally the most miserable I'd ever been in my whole entire life. And I mean, like, I just hated school. My girlfriend was away. My friends were away. I was completely alone. I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life. I was miserable. So I decided to, for Halloween weekend, go up to a college and drink. And I'm not a big drinker, but I did it because I was kind of like, taking that depression away with, alcohol. So that's what I did. And the thing with me, when I drink, I only drink like hard liquor because I don't want all the calories and all that BS, because I care too much about my physique. So that's what I did. I had a whole fifth of Tito's, and I dumped out like half of 2 water bottles, filled that with Tito's, and then put Mio in it so that I couldn't really taste the Tito's. This was like the most critical turning point in my whole entire life. This was God laying his hands on me at rock bottom, truly pulling me up. So I did that. We were going out around like 11 something. Before I went out, I literally, I'd already drank in one water bottle. So I was already hammered. I grabbed the second water bottle and started walking to the party. On the way to the party, I had literally finished like about half of it already. You got to think of how much a fifth of Tito's is. That is ridiculous amount of alcohol. So I drank all of that, and then about 30 minutes into the party, whatever, I was in the basement having a good time. I had finished the whole second bottle, and then other people were handing me drinks. I was drinking that. Like I had no sort of like awareness of how much alcohol I was actually consuming. I was just in the moment. I didn't care. I was like so like depressed to the point where like I didn't feel shit. So yeah, I at one point it all just like hit me at once and I couldn't stand up. I realized that I could not stand up. So someone took me outside and I literally just passed out on the grass, throwing up. Horrible. I had no control over my body. And then the guys there, they were trying to help me, all that stuff. They did everything they could. Very thankful for that. I was just throwing up everywhere. And then the cops ended up coming, the ambulance. I got carted away in the ambulance, taken to the hospital. I don't remember any of it, by the way. All I remember is one point I was on the grass throwing up, small little points in between, and then next thing you know, I wake up in the hospital at 4 a.m. and my mom walked in, and I had no clue what happened. I felt like I got hit by a truck. This was literally the lowest point in my life. Everything changed from here. This is what, like, I thought I was dead. Literally. I didn't, like, I don't even know. Like, I genuinely think I had enough alcohol to kill me. The fact that I walked out of that situation not injured one bit, that was God. I knew it too. I knew that was God laying his hands on me and giving me another chance, because I had just wrecked my life. My life could have drastically changed that night. And fortunately, God was with me the whole time. He laid his hands on me and he brought me back up. That was rock bottom. Imagine waking up in the hospital room at 4 a.m. not knowing what happened to your mom walking in, worried sick because she thinks you're dead. That's what happened. That was the biggest turning point in my life. So My mom drove me home. I like, I just felt like dead. I don't even know. I was screwed up. And then I just laid in bed the whole next day. I had literally the worst headache I'd ever had in my whole life. Like, it was a hangover times 10. I felt like I had gotten hit by a truck. Like that, it was bad. But thankfully, I'm very thankful for that experience, because that's what, got me closer to God. That's what really made me like start pursuing God, because I know I should not have still been alive. Like, I knew that was God laying his hands on me. I knew that that whole situation was him. I knew it. I just knew it. I can't tell you how I knew it, but I knew it. I knew it was God, and I went right to God. And that was the main turning point that really, helped me build and grow my relationship with God. He got me at rock bottom. And that's what it took for me to fully, 180 my life, because I was lost. And that's what happened. So I was working at a gym at the time, the gym I actually trained at. I was just stuck. Like, all I had was the gym. I was working a minimum wage job at the gym, making no money. I didn't even know what I wanted to do with my life. I went to school to learn. My first semester of school, I was for like exercise science, because I thought that would be like gym related. Turns out it was a bunch of anatomy and BS. So I switched from that. So my second semester, I went into business, still learned nothing about business, realized very quickly that school is not going to help you get wealthy, not going to help you make money. They're just going to teach you, how to get into the system, be a good worker, all that stuff. It was just a lot. But I was miserable. Like, my girlfriend was away at Tennessee. All my friends were gone. I was just completely isolated, like so alone. And this is actually a critical turning point, because this is when I also started getting into God as well, building my faith. So I was fully alone. And then around January, I actually ended up taking a trip to Tampa to visit my friends for Gasparilla. That was fun. But like when I got back, that's when I like kind of like just locked in. I got back from Tampa and I was like, all right, it's time to get my life together. Like, I had no sort of direction. I wasn't happy with my life. I didn't even like my physique. My physique was pretty crap at the time. And I just fully locked in. Like, I broke things off with my girlfriend. I was like, I'm done. I can't do this long distance. I need to figure my life out. Broke that off. And then basically I had my second semester of college. I was doing business. This is when I started waking up early. I was waking up early, doing my fasted cardio, going to the sauna in the morning, like doing all this stuff. I was meditating. I started praying actually morning and night. I was really starting to build my relationship with God, and things were turning around. Like, I was starting to, build my mindset, get a better, reputation with myself. I was stacking wins every day through the habits, and things were turning around. And then I actually started, I got into books. I started researching online. I was kind of starting to plan my escape for college, because I knew I did not want to do it at all. I was like, I'm not doing this BS. I'm getting out of here. I knew there was something better. There had to be. I was like, there's no way I'm going to this school to learn business from a professor who never ran a successful business, doesn't even know what they're talking about, reading out of a book, not teaching me how to make money, how to invest it, anything like that. I knew it was a scam. So I was just done with everything, So I was planning my escape for college. I had talked it over with my parents a couple times. They were like, my mom was really pushing me to stay in college. She didn't, because I was going to community college for free. So it's like, why not get your associate's degree, Why not? You're going for free. But I was like, what am I going to use that for? Absolutely nothing. So I finally convinced them, to let me drop out of school. I literally, the last couple months of school, I stopped showing up to class. I didn't even care. I had no interest in being there. It was horrible. My grades, I probably failed like every class. But I was planning my way out. I was starting to read books. I was researching online, all these, quick money methods that aren't actually real. Little business models like drop shipping, stock trading, all that stuff. Got into that a little bit. Nothing really hit. But actually, that summer is when things got really real. So that summer is when I fully locked in. I wasn't seeing my friends, none of that. I was literally going to the gym. I started posting social media content in June. So the end of June, 2022 was when I started posting social media content. So I started on TikTok. I was literally posting 5 times a day for 3 months. I didn't care. I was just spamming it. I was like determined to make it grow. I was getting made fun of by all my friends, all the people around me, everyone. I was like, because I was getting no views. Like, they were just seeing me as like a wannabe influencer. I was getting shit from literally everyone I knew. And that was the hardest part, because I was working so hard at it every single day, trying my absolute best, and I was getting no results. So it was like, for that short period of time, everyone who was making fun of me was right, because I had no results. It was literally just me and God. I woke up every single day that whole summer at literally 6 or 6:30 a.m., sometimes 5:30. I was in bed at 9 or 10, and I was up at 6 or 6:30 every single day. I would wake up, pray, make my bed, journal, 32 ounces of water, fasted cardio, cold shower, breakfast, gym. Like, it was like locked in. It was a full routine every single day. I was reading like a book a week at that time. Not that that's good. That was just like mental masturbation, because I wasn't actually, getting anywhere with that knowledge I was learning. You can't really comprehend a full book in a week. But I was still doing it, and I was making a lot of mental progress, a lot. Like, I was leveling up like crazy. I was like so freaking dialed, bro. It was like all I wanted was to just make something happen of my life, like fully just go all in. I started investing my money too. I was delivering pizza at the time. I had quit, or I'd gotten fired from that gym job in like May, thankfully, but I started delivering pizza, making a little bit more money, not much, like $200 a week. So I was still broke. But yeah, I was doing all that, and that summer I was just freaking dialed. Like, everything was on point. I wasn't seeing my friends at all. I barely hung out with them at all. I was just so determined with my routine and to like make something of myself. So that's what I did. And then fast forward to the end of summer, we'll say. Well, sometime in July, I had a video, like my first video, blow up on TikTok. That was huge. That's at like over 1 million views right now, which was a lot for me at the time. That video blew up, and that's what gave me some momentum on social media and like really helped me start to grow. That was like the turning point of everything, because all my work that I had put in for like that whole month and a half prior to that, of getting like 7 likes on a video, 2 likes on a video, just no views, all that work that I had put in had finally paid off with one video. And that one video changed literally my whole life. That's when I knew that I could do this. I could make this turn into something. I could make something happen. So that's what I did. That gave me even more determination to, take this even further, go as serious as possible and just lock in. And that's when a lot of my friends too saw that, like, oh shit, like this is starting to work. Like, he's doing it. So that's when things got real. That video blew up, and then I just kept going. Like, towards the end of summer, I kind of backslid a little bit. Around like September, I stopped waking up early. I got lazy with my routine. I was still going to the gym, but yeah, bro, I got lazy. Like, I kind of burnt out. I was still posting my social media like crazy. At this point too, I was like trying to become a fitness trainer. So I was trying to get my certification through NASM, which sucked. I went through that whole course. It was just a bunch of anatomy and BS. I was like, why do I need this to train someone? Like, I have the experience. I know how to, train anyone. Literally, I have all this fitness knowledge and experience. I don't know why I needed to know like what a certain bone was or something. Like, it was just ridiculous. But yeah, I was like kind of going through that. I finished the whole course and I was ready to take my test, but I actually never ended up taking that test. I was just so focused on social media that I gave up on it, because I was like determined that social media was going to open a door. So that's what I did. And around September, I kind of backslid, stopped waking up early. I was still going to the gym, doing everything the right way. But I was like So like that summer, basically, I'd gotten the leanest I ever had in my whole life. I got down to like 185 pounds. So around like the end of August, September, I was like determined to go on this crazy bulk. I was like, I'm going to hit 220 pounds, just get massive and then cut down for next summer. That was my plan. And I started eating like 5,000 calories a day and I got fat. That's literally what happened. I got fat around like October-ish. Got fat, my content started to suffer big time. I was just posting like pictures and videos from summer because I was literally fat. I couldn't like post anything in real time. So that's what happened with that. And then I was just backsliding a lot. I made some mistakes. I was separating from God. That was not good. Like in the summer, I had felt that I was so like on point with my relationship with God. Everything was going right. It was just me and God. Like he was the only one there for me. Like I didn't have, you know, I wasn't seeing my friends, so there wasn't much like support there. Not that it's their fault. I separated myself, but I was so alone. Like all I had was God to lean on. And like truly that's all you need. That's what I learned. But yeah, I was really backsliding. I was doing things that I shouldn't have, falling into sin, temptation heavily. And like it was a big thing. So then next Halloween comes around. I'm fat. I'm backsliding. I'm not on good terms with the Lord at all. I felt it. I felt the guilt. That's one thing, like when you have the Spirit, bro, like when you start slipping up and you keep messing up, like God's going to let you know. He like when you are truly a child of God, he is going to let you know. He's not going to let you just walk however you want to walk. God is going to put his hands on you and he's going to try to redirect you, because that's what a good father does. Even if you think of our day and age, a father and a son, the father's not just going to let his son do whatever he wants. He's going to, give him discipline, direct him, let him know when he's messing up. And that's what God did with me. I felt it. I knew I was screwing up. And then it's actually crazy. So Halloween came around and I was at the point where I just gained, a significant following on TikTok. Not really significant, but I hit 10K within that point. So I was like, this is really starting to work. I was excited. And I wanted to go out for Halloween because I hadn't been out in so long. I was so locked in the whole summer and I was like, this is it. This is my chance to, get a break. I'm burnt out. I need this and then I can lock back in. That was my thought process. And thankfully, I talked with a really good friend at the gym before I went ahead and did that. A very good friend that I have, I met him through God. He's a man, very strong faith. He actually made these shirts as well. We were doing this business for a while. The shirts, awesome shirts. But just a great dude in my life. Shout out to Japhet. His name's Japhet. And we had a conversation in the gym, before I was going to make that decision, because I was going to go back up to the same college for Halloween that I'd had that big incident at the year prior, which is stupid. I don't know why I'm sure you guys watching this video are probably like, what an idiot. Why would he go back to the same place where he got hospitalized? But yeah, I was going to do it. I didn't know where else to go, so I was going to do it. But fortunately, I talked with a very good friend at the gym, Japhet, and he really I swear, sometimes when he speaks to me, it literally feels like it's God directly talking to me. He was just telling me, not telling me not to go, but he really put some sense into me and made me think about it and recheck my actions. So I actually didn't end up going. And I was just sitting home alone that whole day. Just upset. I just felt lonely. I had nothing to do for Halloween. And I was like, what am I even doing with my life? I'm not enjoying anything. And I don't know why this happened, but for some reason, I just looked up Jesus on YouTube. I can't tell you why. I just did it. I looked up Jesus on YouTube, and the Life of Jesus video came up. It's like a over 2 hours long, almost 3 hours, but it's just like his whole life. It's a very old film, but I just started watching it. I can't even tell you why. I just started watching it. And I got like pretty much almost all the way through it. And I was doing that for the rest of the day, just watching that. Just learning about Jesus, because I hadn't really like gotten into the Bible at any point. Like, I was very unfamiliar with the Bible, so I was just watching the life of Jesus, like seeing everything for the first time. And then November 3rd, 2023, this is when my life changed forever. Forever. This was like the biggest thing that has happened. So yeah, I'll never forget this day until I die. It was a Friday night around 8:20 p.m. I had just gotten off work, delivering pizza, and I had about maybe like 20-30 minutes to kill, because I was actually like training the dudes who worked at the pizza place. You know, I was training them Monday through Friday, going in to Planet Fitness from 9 to 10 p.m. Just training them. It was awesome. I loved it. I did it for free too. I just, you know, I was really cool with them, and I just wanted to help them genuinely. So I was doing it for free, getting good experience with training people. So yeah, I had to meet them at Planet pretty soon. And I don't know why. I got home and I just finished that Jesus video. And I saw everything, you know, what they did to him on the cross, everything that happened after. And like, it felt like my heart had gotten pierced with a sword. Like, just felt like a sword went right through my heart. And like, after I finished that video, I'll never forget it. I just broke down. I broke down, and I realized, you know, everywhere I was falling short in my life, everything I was doing wrong, all that guilt that had built up of like me kind of distancing myself from God, all hit me. And I just like cried out to Jesus. I just prayed. I prayed that he would forgive me. I prayed that he would take me back. And I told him, I was like, Jesus, please, just, I don't want to be in control anymore. Just like, take the wheel of my life. I'm done. I'm done trying to, you know, do everything on my own, be this perfect person that I'm not. Everything. I fully let go. I fully let go. And it was one of the first times I had ever prayed, and it was actually from my heart. Like, I truly cried out to God through my heart, and I felt it. And after I did that, I had kind of just like picked my head up slowly, and it literally felt like the whole world had gotten lifted up off my shoulders. It was the most peace I had ever felt in my whole entire life. Like, it felt like everything just got lifted up off of me. Like, I can't even describe it. It was so supernatural. It's just, everything was lifted off of me. And I couldn't even believe what had just happened. You know, I'd always had in the back of my head, you know, people talking about being reborn, but I never really knew what it was. And then I realized I had just gotten reborn, and I didn't even know what I did. It just happened. And that's God. That's God. I didn't even know what I was doing. It was not intentional. It was truly from the heart. And that's why it happened. That's why God saved me. That's why he had grace, because it was true. You can't fake that. You know, God can see right through your words if your heart's not aligning with what you're saying. Like, it was true. Everything from my heart. God saved me that night. And I knew everything was going to be different from there. I woke up the next morning, and it was like I was a completely new person. Everything was different. I had no longer desired to curse. A lot of the sins that I was committing, no desire at all to do them. And a couple other things just drastically changed in my life. Like, I literally just had this like overwhelming feeling to just spend as much time with God as possible every single day. You know, like that's all I wanted to do was just spend time with God. Any little free second that I had, I wanted to spend time with God. I got into the Bible. I started with the Gospels, learning about Jesus. I was on this spiritual high for like a whole month, a little over a month maybe. And it's like nothing fazed me. Even one night I was delivering, some lady like rammed into the side of my car, backed into it. I didn't even care, bro. I was like, I was literally on this high with God. I did not care. I saw the lady back right into my door and I just pulled over. I got out. I asked her if she was okay and I did not care. I was like, it's a car. It can get fixed. Like I did not care. I was so happy. That was the most broke I ever was in my life too. But I was so happy because I had God. And that's it. That's all I'll ever need is God. You know, nothing of this world can fulfill you. And I was realizing that. So I was like the happiest I ever was in my whole life, listening to worship music, all of that. It was awesome. Listening to podcasts when I was delivering of just God, like it was awesome. And then actually some point through November too, you know, I had prayed this prayer to God and I was like, you know what, God, like I'm not going to look for a girl. You know, I'm done looking for girls. I'm done giving them attention. I told God, I was like, I trust you that, you know, at the right time, you will put the right girl into my life. And I prayed that. And I believed it too. I was like, I'm done looking. I trust you more than I trust myself. And I told God, I know you're going to put the right girl in my life at the right time. 2 weeks later, I met the girl who I'm with now, beautiful girl. Her name's Blake. And I knew from the second I met her, she was sent from God. That's actually how we met too. Because we just had like kind of talked to each other about our experiences, both like with God. And we started hanging out and like I just knew she was from God. I just knew it. And she knew it too. And that was like the first major blessing that God had put into my life. It's like I didn't even look for it. It just happened. He answered my prayer. And that's what happened. And then fast forward a little bit. Well, actually, I started going to church too. That was the biggest thing too with building my relationship with God. I found a church that I really resonated with. And I started taking Blake there every single weekend. And we've been doing that ever since. And it was amazing. You know, I've never had a girl who I was able to take to church ever. I didn't even go to church my whole life. So it was a surreal experience. And then, yeah, time went on and, you know, I was just doing my thing. I was posting with social media, staying close with God, all that stuff. Everything was good, but I was broke. And then, you know, obviously when you get a girlfriend, you know, you want to take her out to eat all the time. You want to do things with her. And that's when money started getting tight. You know, with delivering, I wasn't making a lot of money. So I kind of like every month I had just enough money to, you know, fully take care of myself. But now that Blake had been in the picture, you know, obviously I'm not going to let her pay for anything as a man. No matter how broke I am, I'm not letting her pay a dime for anything. So I was taking the hit for that. And I don't know how I was doing it. Like all glory to God because he got me through all of this. But yeah, I was broke. I had to check my bank account every time I wanted to pay for something for her. It was tough to even take her out to eat once a month for our anniversary. It was bad. And I wasn't really like telling her all this because like that's the last thing I want is for her to, you know, worry about money. You know, as a man, I'm supposed to be providing and I'm going to sit there and tell her that I'm broke? No. I didn't tell her anything, no matter how uncomfortable it was. Like, I didn't. I just kind of made a way, found a way. God found a way. But yeah, things got pretty miserable. You know, once that kind of like that honeymoon phase wore off, you know what I'm talking about? When you just meet a girl, everything's new. It's awesome. Once that honeymoon phase kind of wore off, I got to a point where I was just like, I'd gotten so comfortable. Like, I was still going to the gym and all that stuff, but I was just waking up late, being lazy again. I was uncomfortable. Like, I knew I was freaking broke. I was getting tired of delivering pizza. You know, I didn't know where I was going to go from here in life. I was like, what is happening? My relationship with God, started to not be as good. And that's what actually caused me to be miserable a lot, was because of my lack of God. Once you get a girlfriend, that sort of like starts to take over. I was spending more time with my girl than, actually with God. And I distanced myself again. I found myself in the same spot. With the girl he blessed me with, I distanced myself from him. And that's what happens a lot of times when things are going so great in life. We tend to forget about God. And you can't do that. So that's sort of what happened. And then I got to a point where I was just broke. So broke. And little more time went on. And then around June, early June, I had been seeing this guy posted on social media all the time. He's making money doing fitness coaching. And I was like, dang, like, I want to do that. I was at the point where I was so broke, I was literally starting to, look at other job options because I didn't know what to do. I was like, I don't have money to pay for my bills or afford my girlfriend. I need another job now. So that's what I did. But I didn't want to get another job because I knew it would take away from me being able to post social media content. And that was like my number one focus. Like I thought that was going to be the door to open up everything, which it was. So I didn't know what to do. My mom was like getting on me crazy about money. And I'm stressing even more now. And I was trying to figure out another job. And then literally I had hit up this dude who I was seeing online, and he actually became my mentor. Everything happened so fast. It was early June. Hopped on a call with him. He told me the price. I was like, I knew in my head there's no possible way I can afford that. I'm not even making $1,000 a month. So I was like, there's no possible way I can afford that. I kind of got shattered again with my limiting belief. So I had hopped off the call with him, and then I was getting ready to text him, that I'm not going to be able to do this because all hope was lost. I was like, this is way too expensive. I'm never going to be able to afford this. All hope was lost. And then he actually hit me back up and he said, do you have good credit? And I was like, yes. And that's literally what saved me, was my credit score. So I was actually able to finance the money. That way I didn't have to pay it all at once. I got a loan through a firm and I financed $4,500. I hopped on a call with him. We set it all up. Everything happened so fast. I submitted to a plan that I was going to pay like $420 every month, which I knew I couldn't afford. Not one bit. I probably couldn't even afford $200 a month with the bills that I had at the time and my girlfriend. So it was a lot of pressure. Everything happened so fast. I had signed up and then I hopped off the call with him and I was like, what did I just do? Like literally, what did I just do? I had went downstairs to, tell my mom about it. I was scared to tell her because I knew she was going to freak out because she was already on me about my bills, not being able to pay that. She was like paying a lot of my credit card, payment every month and my bills. She was covering a lot for me that I couldn't make up. And that's the worst feeling as a man, having to have your mom help you out with bills. I was literally like the worst reputation possible I had with myself. So yeah, I had told her that I just invested into a mentor. I told her the price and everything, and she like freaked out on me. She was like, what the F is wrong with you? Like all this stuff. And she was scared. She was like, how could you take this on? You can't even, afford to pay me my bills and all that stuff. And I was just like, I was at this point where it's like, okay, if I don't make this work, I am screwed. Like it was that pressure had hit me. It was like, if this doesn't work, I'm screwed and I'm not going to be able to come up with this money. So I had called my girlfriend that night and I was just like, I couldn't even sleep. I was so stressed. I was so stressed about, everything ahead of me. I was like, what am I going to do? Like this, like, I don't know what I did. Everything happened so fast. And she kind of talked me through it. She really helped me. And I was just at the point, I was like, if I don't make this work, It's either this or nothing. Like, I have no choice. So I literally woke up the next day and I just locked in. I literally just locked in. Like, I became like a different type of mindset. I flipped the switch and I was now in survival mode. Like, if this doesn't work, I have nothing else. I'm screwed. So I was in survival mode now. I literally locked in. The first 2 weeks, my mentor, helped me clean up my social media, start posting the right way. I was gaining a new audience. And then 2 weeks after that, the first 2 weeks I did that. And then right after, set up my full online coaching business. The first night that I launched my coaching business, I had made 2 sales and made $650. My life changed forever. I know $650 isn't a lot, but at the time it was a lot to me. I was delivering pizza and I just made $650 within 10 minutes. And my life changed forever. My perspective on money changed forever. I was like, there's no way this actually worked. And my whole self-belief had changed because I actually had seen, the physical results of what I was working so hard towards. And I told my mom, she was like ecstatic. She couldn't believe it. My dad even too. It was insane. It was a huge turning point in my life. And then a day later, while I was delivering pizza, I'll never forget this. This was when I knew I was going to make it. I was delivering pizza. I drove 12 minutes away to some house, dropped them off their pizza. They tipped me like $4 for 12 minutes away, $4. I was furious. I got back in the car. I went to my DMs. This one dude was ready to hop on a call. I called him on the way back from the pizza shop, sold him on the phone, and made $450 while I was delivering pizza. That was when my life it changed forever. I was like, I'm going to be able to quit this job. This is actually working now. My mentor literally FaceTimed me and he was like, dude, I'm telling you right now, you are going to make it. And when he told me that, I knew it was coming from him telling me that, I knew it was set. I was like, this is it. That my life has changed forever. And it's crazy too, because on the way back, I had gotten back to the pizza shop. I went in, grabbed another pizza, and I was about to go take it to another house. And then one of the drivers literally backed into my car. But I didn't even care. I was like, dude, you're good. I just made $450. I don't care. I don't care about this car. I was so excited that I'd made money. I didn't care. It was life-changing money. When you deliver pizza, you're lucky to make even $100 a night. And I just made $450 in 5 minutes. It was life-changing. And yeah, I just kept going. And then within 2 to 3 weeks, I had quit my delivery job. Once I stacked to 3 to 4 grand already that month, I was like, that's it. I'm going all in on this. I'm done my job. I don't need to deliver anymore. It's just going to take away time from my business. So I went all in and I quit that job. And here I am now. 3 months later, here I am now. Sitting in my dream car. I bought this at 20 years old. I have a now successful running business. My dream job. I'm literally changing lives, helping people get into shape. All I wanted to do my whole life was I was always helping people, my friends, people I worked with, get into shape because I was so passionate about the gym. I had finally found something that could be a job that could make me good money, is just helping people get in shape. I can't think of a better job than that. This was literally my dream job and it happened. And it's God. I would not, if I were to sit here and take credit for all of this, I'd be a fool and I'd know I'm lying to myself. Because I can tell you 110%, I would not be here without God. There were critical moments in my life that God had to carry me. It was not me. Yes, I may have put in the work, but God opened doors that I couldn't open. God got me out of situations that I couldn't handle. God got me through storms that I was unable to get through. I wouldn't be here without God. Not one bit. I would not be in this situation. I am literally living everything I used to pray for. because I trusted God. It was in his timing. Was it as, as quick as I wanted it to be? No. God's timing is something we can't understand. We want everything now, but God has his own perfect divine timing. It's always going to happen at the perfect time. Always. It's not going to be exactly when you want it to, but it is going to be the perfect time, and everything's going to work out the way God intended it to. And without that struggle coming up, without all those, hard times and painful things that I went through, I would not be where I'm at now. All those things are what molded me into the man I am today. All praise to God, all glory to God. I would not be here without God. So that's literally it. I'm at the point now where, I have everything I prayed for. Now I'm just at the point where I'm trying to break through, build true financial freedom so that I can not only, take care of my family and the people that I love, but I don't want money to even ever be an issue ever again. I know what it's like to struggle financially, and it sucks. And I'm so fortunate that I get to not only, support the people I love and become financially free, but I'm changing lives in the process. Helping so many other people get into shape, turn their lives around, show them what the gym can truly do to you, build the foundational principles that you need in order to win at life and become a high value man. Doing that for other people is something that it's a joy that I cannot even explain. It doesn't matter how much money I ever make. Nothing will ever feel better than changing someone's life, because I know how much it meant to me when I changed mine, when God changed mine. So that's everything. Yeah, that's literally everything in between laid out for you guys. It was not an easy journey, but I'm here. All glory to God, man. I love you guys, man. I wouldn't be here without you guys either. Without your support and your love and the constant, support on my videos and what I'm doing, man, I wouldn't be here without a single one of you. You guys keep me going, man. I love you guys. I hope that, this story can motivate a lot of you. Maybe you're in the same type of situations that I may have been in. I just want you guys to know that things do get better. No matter how low you are, whether you're at rock bottom, you're in the middle, whatever, God can get you through it. I don't care how deep you are in that hole to the point where you can't see anything at all, and it just looks like there's no way of getting out. God can get you out. That happened to me through everything. There were points in my life where I was like, I don't see anything that God can do here. There's no way I'm getting out of this. And he did. God works out everything for, those that love him. So that's my story. I hope you guys got a ton of value from this. And, give me feedback in the comments. Let me know what you guys think about everything I just said. This was very deep. This was everything laid out, fully vulnerable, fully transparent with you guys. Yeah. But that's it, man. That's my story.